1947 brought much tragedy to the people of Punjab. Due to its partition, Bhagat Ji along with us had to leave Lahore and move to the Khalsa College refugee camp in Amritsar. He had no money and he had me on his shoulders. That place felt very unstable. It was a sea of tents with 25,000 refugees crowded onto the college lawn. There were sick, wounded, wailing women, orphaned children, handicapped and crippled people. It was a sea of sadness and destitution. So Bhagat Ji did what he always did. Right there in the middle of that sight of squalor, he gathered 7 crippled and handicapped people and personally started to look after them.
When the camp closed, Bhagat Puran Singh and his company of dependents moved to a large peepal tree near the railway station. For shelter, he used the archway under the staircase. He went from house to house begging for his dependents.
We came here in 1947. It was a new phenomenon. He used to take the disabled people to the hospitals, get them treated and make them healthy. Bhagat Ji did a great job for the society, which is unbelievable. Although the government acknowledged his achievements, but the people respected him more. Whenever a news about a discarded patient reached him, sometimes from the railway station or bus stand, he would carry the patient on his back to Pingalwara.
The railway station proved to be a very practical site for him. His work was noticed by many affluent and influential people of Amritsar passing through there. It increased the base of support for his mission. And still, more refugees, orphans, and destitute were arriving. He could not stay at the railway station for longer time. He moved his camp to underneath the Bodh tree opposite Guru Tegh Bahadur Hospital. By the end of 1948, he had to move his camp again. He found an abandoned house opposite to the office of the civil surgeon. His zeal to help the helpless was tested here. He came across a woman by the name of Asha Rani, who was suffering from advanced TB. She also had a 4-year-old son named Jita. He tried to admit her to the hospital without success. To prevent others from getting infected, he separated her, placing her under an ornate structure at Maharaja Ranjit Singh Gate. In spite of his devoted attention, Asha Rani died after a couple of weeks. Jita became a ward of Bhagat Ji. Bhagat Ji had to move his camp numerous times. In 1950, he moved to an abandoned cinema hall. A year later, he moved to an abandoned mosque to be used for critical patients. Cinema hall became his headquarters for the next 7 years. In 1957, Meher Chand Khanna, Union Minister for Rehabilitation, sanctioned a piece of land for Pingalwada, which was recommended by Gopi Chand Bhargav, the then Chief Minister of Punjab, who was impressed by Puran Singh's work. Pingalwada certainly is a great accomplishment of this remarkable man. Original in its concept, The institution represents a natural outcome of an irresistible urge of Bhagat Ji to do his best for the helpless who could not gain admission into hospitals. Such an idea could only find its genesis in the mind of a saint. He wasn't a man of abundance, but he was very rich at heart. In an established city like Amritsar, where fully equipped hospitals existed to serve the well-to-do, the common man needed a convalescence facility with full board for longer stays. Unlike the conventional locations, Pingalwada was and is a healthcare and rehabilitation center that serves everyone. This, according to Bhagat Ji, was the very reason for the existence of Pingalwada.
The model of Pingalwada may be worth considering by philanthropists interested in founding hospitals for public good. His was a pioneering approach for the care of sick and invalids. Bhagat Ji believed that it is really up to the society at large to shoulder the responsibility for health care. And so Puran Singh's relentless effort had led him to create an ideal institution that surpasses any hospital founded on the generosity of rich persons. Pingalwada is a hospice, a family home for those who are discarded by the society, a hospital for the soul.
Among human beings, there are some who are blessed with healthy bodies, intelligent minds, harmonious conditions of life and contented childhoods. But they should not think that they deserved what they got. Instead, they must do something for others who are not as fortunate and are deprived of these gifts. Bhagat Ji never thought about putting people under any obligation. We owe this debt to God, who has blessed us with everything. Through our efforts, we have to repay this debt to the society.
Gradually, people began to join the cause. A quiet army of volunteers came forward to collect money on the trains, buses, and streets. His cause attracted many more, including people of Indian origin settled abroad, especially the Gurdwaras and other organizations. Bhagat Ji's vision of service to humanity is embodied in the institution of Pingalwada. Starting from roadside squatting to expanding facilities at cities such as Amritsar, Sangrur, Chandigarh, Govindpal Sahib, and Jalandhar is a remarkable achievement. At all the centers, the mission and dedication remains equally fervent for the care of orphans, handicapped, sick, and dying. It was not only the human beings getting shelter at Pingalwada. Bhagat Ji would bring stray or other injured animals and treat and feed them. He would give a respectful burial to a dead animal found on the road. Bhagat Ji believed that dignity in death is a birthright of each living being. The All India Pingalwada Society was registered on March 6, 1957. Bhagat Ji installed black wooden collection boxes all over the city. He himself would walk along the Hall Bazaar, the main street, ringing his bell to collect money. Through his tireless effort and due to wide public support, the first house of Pingalwada was built.
Pingalwara is carrying out the legacy of Bhagat Ji. It is looking after the helpless, young, old and handicapped. Pingalwara is also working for the environment. We have made a nursery for plants. We give away plants to people. Pingalwara has also established an artificial limb center. It has served 980 patients who had amputated legs or arms. We had a patient with both arms amputated. He had both his arms fixed and he went away driving a motorcycle. We have a physiotherapy center which even serves the patients getting treatment from other hospitals.
It is sad that even well-off families leave their elders and handicapped children in the Pingalwada. This old person has 2 sons and 3 daughters.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਰਹੇ ਕੀਰਤਪੁਰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਮੈਂ 5 ਸਾਲ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਗਦਰੰਗ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਗਏ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਭੇਜਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਿੰਗਲਵਾੜੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਿੰਗਲਵਾੜੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਇੱਥੇ
When she came to us, she was unable to tell her name or address. She came in a terrible condition in 1998. She was totally unaware of herself and her surroundings. She's married with 1 child and her name is Annapurna. Why and how she reached here, she does not remember. She has improved a lot. She has started to work in Pingalwada. She had a feeling to go back to her home and see her family. As she is HIV positive, we did not want her to go to her husband and child so that the disease does not spread any further. We counseled her. She expressed a desire to see her son. She understood that how this disease is contagious and she promised not to keep any relationship. I saw my family, husband and child. My husband had married another woman. He agreed to keep both of us together. We stayed together for 2 months. My husband's second wife and I used to fight. So I thought, why to make their life hell? So I came back to Pingalwada. We went on a pilgrimage trip to Baba Balaknath and Chintpurni. At Peer Niga, we found a lost child around 2.5 years old who was unable to speak. The only thing she would utter is that she wants to go to her aunt. In such cases, Pingalwada tries to find their relatives through media or police. If not traceable, these people stay in Pingalwada. Pingalwada management, with the help of doctors, social workers, assesses the patients, treats them, or gets them treated in the hospital. Younger ones are given education, and elder ones are given training and tools to be integrated back into society. Among many success stories from Pingalwada is Sarwan Singh. Sarwan Singh, who was an orphan aged 6, who arrived by train in Amritsar. Hunger forced him to beg on a platform. Seeing his plight, a tea vendor gave him food and Sarwan Singh started working for him. The one day, someone informed the tea vendor that legally he could not keep the child with him, that the police should be informed or the child should be handed over to Pingalwada, a home for the homeless.
Pingalwara Ashram guided me to study. I study up to grade 10 plus 2. I asked them to get me technical training. They found that I was intelligent and I had no vices. And Bhagat Ji had a dream to open an artificial limb center. They sent me to Jaipur to get trained in making of artificial limbs. Now I have a job in Pingalwara. Here we make artificial limbs ourselves. In the beginning we did not have many patients, but now we have